Yo, welcome to today's episode of The Source. Last night sucked, but there's 10 games tonight. I'm an optimist. I'm picking up at least 3 units tonight. 10 games on tonight. I'm skipping 1, so I'm going to run through 9 right now. Let's get into it.
Welcome to The Source. Hey, get the source. The source. The source. Hey, get the source.
Raptors, Warriors, 2 good teams that are playing absolutely terrible. This is the battle of who is underperforming more. Both teams have been awful. Games in Tampa, home game for Toronto. Raptors laying 2 points here. Sharp money's on Golden State for the line. Total 225.5, so kind of high. Money seems to be slightly favoring the under, which I disagree with. I kind of like the over here. Quick look at the analytics. We got a slight lean on the Raptors. Sheet saying Raptors by 3. Other sheet saying 230 points scored, so a slight lean on the over there. Like I said, both these teams are way better than they are, so we're basically betting which of these teams is going to show up. Golden State just played last night on the road. I think the Raptors is the correct side to be on, so I'm going to take Toronto -2 for 1 unit.
Quick update, Steph Curry not playing tonight. Line moved from Toronto -2 to Toronto -4. I'm taking Toronto -4 for 1.5 units now.
If anything changes, I will tweet it out and put it on my Instagram story next game. Celtics, Rockets in Boston, and the Celtics are laying 11.5 points. That's a lot of points for a team that hasn't been playing well to lay, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm in the minority on that because 96% of the early money is on the Celtics. I mean, the Rockets looked all right against Brooklyn last night. Are we really comfortable laying 11.5 to them? Now, John Wall is questionable, but the way Kevin Porter Jr. has been playing, how much of a factor is John Wall playing at this point? I mean, I'm not hating on John Wall, but Kevin Porter Jr., I think the offense is slightly better when he handles the ball. I know he's technically a 2, so they could both play, but I like the way he handles the ball, man. Quick look at the analytics here. According to the spreadsheets, we have a slight lean on both the Rockets +11.5 and on the over, but obviously spreadsheets don't take into account that John Wall might not play, that Evan Fournier and Jaylen Brown are both playing. Jaylen had missed a couple games recently. Spreadsheets can't account for that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay away from the total. I am going to bet Houston, though. I'm going to put 1 unit on the Rockets getting 11.5, just because I think they've turned their season around and they're actually a formidable team. And I also think the Celtics have all kinds of problems that probably will be solved towards the end of the season, but they're definitely not solved right now. So give me Houston +11.5 for 1 unit. If anything changes, I will tweet it out and put it on my Instagram story next game. Time for New York Knicks basketball. We got Knicks at home getting 6 points. You already know what I'm betting. Thought I was wearing a Knicks shirt. Knicks +6, and still the money's on Dallas. So it looks like sharps think we're going to get smacked tonight. Quick look at the analytics. Now, we got a solid lean on the Knicks here and a very slight lean on the under. My advice to you, stay away from this game. I don't like it. As a handicapper on YouTube giving you advice, I advise you to stay away. That being said, as a Knicks fan, I'm going to put a half unit on the Knicks to cover and a half unit on the Knicks money line because I believe in my squad. Also, the Knicks play great perimeter defense and they slow the game down. That could put Dallas in a bind. So give me the Knicks half unit +6 and a half unit on the money line. If anything changes, I will tweet it out and put it on my Instagram story next game. Grizzlies, Timberwolves in Memphis, and the money is all over the Grizzlies here, laying 6.5, as I kind of expected it to be. Minnesota's not been great, especially on the road. Also, check out the high total in this game, 230.5 for a Minnesota Timberwolves game. Quick look at the analytics. First sheet saying the Grizzlies should be favored by 6, so no lean at all there. The line's at Grizzlies -6.5. Second sheet saying there should be 234 points scored in the game, and the total we just said is at 230.5, so a very slight lean on the over, we could say. All right, so what I decided to do on this game was I'm going against the second sheet. I'm going to put 1 unit on the under. I know Memphis defense recently has been sketchy. It's been suspect, but we all know what Memphis defense is capable of being. I mean, it was only a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, they were playing the best defense in the NBA. I think Dillon Brooks is a solid piece as far as keeping Anthony Edwards out of the paint and making him beat the Grizzlies from outside. I don't know, I like the under here. Give me the under for 1 unit and 230.5. If anything changes, I will tweet it out and put it on my Instagram story next game. Next up, Pacers, Hornets in Indiana, and the Pacers are laying 4 points here. I can't believe the trash Pacers are laying points to anybody in the league right now. They've looked so bad. The money's actually on the Pacers. So sharps even think the Pacers are going to cover this. It's obvious that Hornets on back-to-back nights, road games, that's going to be too much for them to handle. Looks like that's what everyone thinks. Total is at 219, and it looks like the money's pretty split even down the middle on that. Quick look at the analytics now. The first spreadsheet says the Hornets should be favored in this game instead of getting 4. So that's a huge lean on the Hornets, except, like I always say, the spreadsheets don't take into account variables. The spreadsheet doesn't know that the Hornets just played in Brooklyn, 14 hours ago? Spreadsheet doesn't know that kind of stuff. I mean, they just finished the game, got on a plane, flew to Indiana. Pacers have been resting at home for 2 days, and the Pacers run an extremely fast-paced offense. Just saw Malik Monk is also out for the Hornets. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm betting the Pacers. I just think this is the worst recipe ever for the Hornets. I'm going to take Indiana -4 for 1 unit. I'm also going to put another full unit on the over at 219. The Pacers, the way they love to run the court. Now, against a good team that's rested with a solid defense, they'll shut that down. But the Hornets might be really vulnerable to that, and they could get caught in easy baskets back and forth, which is exactly the kind of game Indiana wants to play. So not only am I betting the Pacers, but I actually really like this game. I think I'm going to hit both of these. Pacers -4, over 219, a unit apiece. If anything changes, I will tweet it out and put it on my Instagram story next game. Pelicans, Hawks in New Orleans. Pelicans laying 1.5 to the Hawks here. Totals at 223. Yes, 223.5. Sharp money's on the cover, which I obviously agree with, but I need to hear about Zion Williamson before I do anything. Let's check out the analytics. The spreadsheets are saying both Pelicans to cover and over, but again, spreadsheets don't know if Zion's playing. Honestly, there's a good chance that I stay away from this game completely. Both of these teams played last night. Shit, the Hawks went into double overtime last night. They're going to be tired, and although I would love them to pick them to cover against New Orleans if Zion doesn't play, I can't. What did their game finish? 6 hours ago? This is a bad spot. I'm probably going to stay away, but if Zion Williamson plays, there's a good chance I might throw a unit down on New Orleans, especially as quick as I can before the line shoots up. So I will keep you posted on Twitter that if anything changes, Twitter, Instagram story, next game. Jazz, Bulls in Utah, Kobe White and Zach LaVine both questionable. So how am I even going to make a decision right now for this video? I can't, but we can still take a look at the numbers. Jazz laying 12 points, both bets and money on the Jazz. So it looks like the public and the sharps as a whole, they are assuming that LaVine's not going to play. At least it looks that way. Sharp money also on the over at 225. I guess they're thinking without LaVine, without Kobe White, the Bulls aren't going to be able to do much to slow down the Jazz three-point shooting, which is probably a pretty accurate prediction of what would happen, but that's my guess. My guess is that's why the money's there. This is another one where I can't give you a definitive answer yet, but if LaVine and Kobe White don't play, I probably won't bet. If LaVine plays, I'm probably going to come back and bet both the Bulls to cover and the over. And I'm going to try to get as fast as I can, because if Zach LaVine plays, there's a good chance Utah goes from -12 down to like -8.5 or 9 pretty quickly. So my advice is try to be quick on the trigger on this one. If you like the Bulls, if you like the Jazz, make sure you stay updated with the injury report so you can get that bet in and get as much value as you can. I will keep you posted on both Twitter and my Instagram story next game. Kings, Lakers in Sacramento. Everyone seems to be on the Kings laying 4.5, which I happen to agree with. Drummond's hurt already. He played like a half a game. He's hurt already. Money's also in on the over, I believe, at 220, 221. I agree with that also. With no Drummond in there, the Lakers are far more likely to get sucked into a back and forth shootout with the Kings, which is exactly what the Kings want. Quick look at the analytics, but with the Lakers shuffling roster and starting lineup, it's really tough to take the Lakers analytics for anything. But the analytics like Lakers and under, I'm disregarding it because I like the Kings a lot in this game. This is my pick of the day. I love the Kings here. Love the Kings -4.5. People seem to have already forgot how good the Kings were playing because they lost to the Spurs. They had a back-to-back 2 games at San Antonio in a row, and they split. It's tough to, they split, right? And the second one was a loss, so it seems like people already forgot how good the Kings were playing. It's tough to beat the same team twice on the road in a row. So give me Sacramento minus 4.5 for 1 unit, and I'm also going to put a half unit on the over at 221. If anything changes, I will tweet it out and put it on my Instagram story next game. Last game I'm doing is Blazers Bucks. I'm skipping the Suns game. I don't like it. I'm not betting anything in it. So last game I'm doing is Blazers Bucks. You got the Blazers getting 2.5 points at home here. Portland's looked great recently. They've won 4 games in a row, but this is the Bucks, man. They're gonna need more than 2.5 in my opinion. Money seems pretty split down the middle. Money's also split down the middle in the total, which is crazy high. The total's all the way up at 239, but I completely understand it. I mean, both these teams can score with anyone in the league. We might be looking at 2 top 5 offenses in the league, especially now that the Blazers are healthy. Quick look at the analytics. Sheets are saying both Portland and the under. I'm sorry, I really want to bet Portland. I swear, I really do. If you subscribe to this channel, you know I love home dogs. And I like Portland, I love Dame. But this is Milwaukee, man, and they might smack them. So I'm going to go with the Bucks minus 2.5 for 1 unit, as much as I would love to bet Portland. I'm also going to throw a half unit on the under for no reason other than it's crazy high. And if the game slows down for any extended period of time, the under has a chance of hitting. So 1 unit, Bucks minus 2.5. Half unit under 239. Anything changes, I will tweet it out and put it on my Instagram story. Let's do the parlay. Parlay of the day today is just a 2-legger. Ready? 2 teased lines. We got Kings minus 7.5 and Bucks minus 7.5 for a total payout of plus 560. As I always say, I don't advise you play the parlay of the day, but I know you're all going to. We're bouncing back from yesterday. I'm confident. I'm optimistic. I'm looking up. 3 units. I'm winning 3 units tonight. Calling my shot. I'll talk to you on Twitter. Let's win some money. Sauce out.